See, we getting church started already on a Tuesday. Already. Yeah, so, Pastor, if you don't mind, would you please tell our listening audience the experience that you had when I came to your church? And just take it away. I'm just gonna sit back, have a glass of water, and you just take over right now. I'm gonna take a break.
Well, great. First thing I want to, first of all, thank you for inviting us to come out. Truly, our congregation was blessed to have you come to us and give us some impertinent information. I thought what we talked about before you came was great. I tried to title my sermon accordingly to it so the people's heart would be open to receive it, because sometimes the one thing is that we don't want to talk about in our communities and in our families is death. That's something that's going to happen to all of us, no matter who you are, what age you are, and sometimes it comes quicker than later. But I thought that what we were able to offer our congregation is an opportunity to have an option, because I tell them all the time when I do benedictions, sometimes we ensure everything except we fail to ensure the thing that's important, this body. It's going to pass away, but we insure other stuff that sometimes we don't think about, taking out life insurance. And I think the obligation of the church is to make sure if we can help our parishioners out in every aspect of that area, to give them options. And what Mr. Marquez did for us, he came to the church, he laid out a wonderful program, and I'm gonna tell you guys, he also brought us something to eat too. So I fed him spiritually. He came, he gave him insurance and physical food. Amen.
Amen.
But he gave us an opportunity to ask questions, to have the congregation hear of the different plans. And it was even really, really interesting because a couple of people that was visiting the church had policies, and he was able to answer on the spot questions about the policies that they had. And then he gave them an opportunity to later on follow up with him, and also call them, set up a time to come in, schedule appointment time with them, to where they're able to, if they have a policy, to let them review it, go through it, see what's good and bad. And I mean, it even hit my own home, because my wife and I paid for a policy for her mother, and she was like, we need to have this policy looked at by Brother Marquez. So again, we want to say thank you for what you did for us that day.
You're welcome, and I do appreciate the invite to your church. Pastor Lewis came to 88.1 right after a show, and he invited me to his church. And also, if you have a church out there and you need this type of information, and we all need this type of information, because as churches, they cannot afford to bury their members. Just imagine 3 funerals in 1 month. That's on an average of $12,000 per funeral. That would be $36,000 for the church to have to pay out. That's over $430,000 a year on an average cost of 3 funerals a month. Now, the church cannot afford that expense. It's up to you to make the decision. You know, it's the holidays are coming up, and we cannot make the excuse the holidays are coming up. Life insurance is a gift of love. What better gift than to give one of your loved ones, make them the beneficiary of your life insurance policy? My name is Donald Marquez. You tune into Your Insurance Connection. Contact me today, 702-236-2624, 702-236-2624, 702-236-2624. My office located is right on the corner of Sahara and Rancho in the U.S. Bank building, located on the 8th floor. I work by appointment, 702-236-2624. Call today. We've had family members that was at our last Thanksgiving that is not attending this Thanksgiving because they passed on. Think about it. When your family members come together for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, for these holiday occasions, now it's time to talk about their life insurance, because you should be concerned. You may be the one have to pay for their life insurance for their final expenses. We can make that happen for you. 702-236-2624, 702-236-2624. And again, it was a delight to be at the House of Worship Christian Center. And your location is right on the corner of, it's 1401 Decatur Boulevard. That was on the corner of Decatur and Washington.
Decatur and Washington.
And what time are your services, Pastor Lewis?
Our Sunday school starts Sunday morning at 9:45. Mm-hmm. We have a Sunday school that goes from 9:45 to 10:45. We take a small break. Then we go right into 11 o'clock service, worship hour. But throughout the week, we give noonday prayer on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 12 to 1. And Wednesday, we do an evening prayer. One of my ministers and deacon in training is Minister Rochester Harris. He leads the Wednesday night Bible prayer meeting class Wednesday at 6 p.m. And then those women that's out there, if you're looking for a strong women's study, our Women of Wow, my wife runs it, Miss Kenyatta Lewis. She has a study on Fridays, from Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 7:30 on Thursday evening.
Wow, that's a lot to remember. You can get in touch with Pastor Lewis at the church number is 702-300-8770. Again, that's 702-300-8770. Deacon Hall, you're the quietest deacon I ever heard sitting there. I haven't heard there so far, but just can jump right in and you can make comments. You were there and you introduced yourself to me, and it was a delight to be at your church. It was very humble. Is your microphone on?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's on. It's on. Go ahead. So it was very humble, and I do appreciate the invite. It was very humble, very intimate church.
We thank you for the invite you gave us today. We thank you for coming to our church. You were spot on. You're a wealth of knowledge. A lot of us learned, and a lot of us took home some information from you. So we thank you again, sir.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
That's true. That's true.
Well, one of the things that given a conference, when it comes to giving life insurance, standing up in front of your congregation, because I'm coming behind you after church, and I felt a little challenged there, just because I said, should I stand behind the altar, or should I stand in front of the altar? But you made it so easy for me.
Good.
Because you introduced me to your congregation in a way that it's important to you, and it should be important to them as well. Again, I said earlier, the churches cannot afford. Regardless how large your church is, regardless how big your membership is, your churches cannot afford to bury your loved ones, regardless how long you've been a member. It's upon us. It's our responsibility as men and women to take care of our own, to have our own life insurance policies in place, because the average funeral today costs around $15,000. And if you lose 2 or 3 loved ones in 1 year, that is devastating to a family. That is a financial debt crisis that we go into. That's one of the leading causes of bankruptcy, is to have to pay for a person's final expenses. And it's not only the funeral. We have to move them out of their home. We may have to pay a car payment. We may have to pay a mortgage. We may have to fly out of town. We're talking about food, because Kim Beatty was talking about food, and I just remembered. All these expenses come into play.
That's right.
And if you have a life insurance policy and you need a review, come in and see me. My number is 702-236-2624.
Mr. Marquez, let me tag in on one other thing, and let me touch the hearts of the people that's listening today. The beginning of this year, I was able to do a few funerals, and the cost of funeral with Mr. Marquez is, something that hit me. I was actually riding down the street, and I lived in the 106 area, and I was listening to his radio show, and I was saying it's a shame that more churches or places of worship haven't done this, to have people like him come out. And maybe you guys do it, and if you do, that's wonderful. But the funerals I was able to do, I felt engaged because I felt bad for the people who couldn't afford to bury him. And what I'm going to say, it may be offensive to some, but it's the truth. Too many times we see us on the side of corners with buckets and cans trying to ask for donations for people to help bury loved ones, when while we're yet living, we should be able to try to take care of it, those who can afford it. And I understand that everyone can afford it, but those of you who look at it from a budget standpoint, that's why I wanted to make sure my congregation was able to look at it openly. And I gave them the opportunity to hear from somebody who I believe that's doing something great for our community. So to you who's listening today, ask yourself a question. How much money do you spend on just normal day-to-day food that you normally buy, and stuff that that sometimes you could cut back on? Because that's what me and my wife had to do. We looked at what we purchased, our expenses, and we purchased policies to where when we go, I didn't say when we might go, I said when we go.
If.
Not an if.
Not an
but
if.
when we go, that our loved ones are not left with the burden of wondering what to do or how to pay for it. So the funerals I was able to do, I really felt, bad in my heart that they couldn't pay for them. And one of them, we had to help them out the best we can. We're a small church, but we did our best to make sure we accommodate them with services and the other stuff that we could do for them. But too many times we see family members, instead of taking care of their business while they're yet alive and have the money to do it, the resources to do it, that we don't do it. So I'm gonna put out a challenge this day to all the churches that's out there and everyone that's listening. If you go to a church, or if you're a minister of a church, or if you're a deacon at a church, or you just participate in church service, ask your pastor, ask your representatives, hey, is it possible that we could have something like this? If you're doing it, great. If you're not doing it, consider doing it. And then be open about it. Invite other people to come. I invited my relatives, my family members, others, so they could ever come to say to me, what do I do? Well, if you would have came, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get Brother Marquez back, if not this year, sometime next year, to come back and do another one. I'm going to try to do them like twice a year. That's what the Lord had put on my heart to do. To at least he can come back to where my new members that start coming to the church, I'll give them an opportunity to come, ask questions, bring their policies, have them reviewed, look at them, sit down and take some quality time to take care of their life and living while they have a chance.
The church is really gracious and letting me come there to the House of Christian Worship. It was a unique experience for me. It wasn't my first time. I've given seminars before, and I enjoy giving seminars because everyone's situation is different. We're not there to sell you a policy at the seminar. We're there to provide you information. I'll pass out my business card. No pressure at the seminars to purchase insurance. There's no pressure at all. It is really good information. We interact. There's a lot of questions that are asked. I open up the floor so I can answer the questions. And if I don't have the answer, which is very rare, we'll get the answer for you. My name is Donald Marquez. You're tuning into Your Insurance Connection. Call me today. Set up an appointment. 702-236-2624. 702-236-2624. Again, my location is on the corner of Sahara and Rancho in the U.S. Bank building located on the 8th floor. I work by appointment. Now is the time. Don't let the holidays prevent you from doing this not only for yourself, but also for your family members. I had a couple came in yesterday. They didn't have any life insurance at all, but we found a way for a life insurance policy for both husband and wife to fit in their budget. They was very happy with the services, and a lot of times I don't ask any money up front. There's sometimes when we submit a policy, you don't have to pay for it up front until the policy is approved. So there's really no excuse not to have a life insurance policy. This should be important to you. We pay more for car insurance than we do on life insurance. And this is a vehicle, a car, a transportation. We don't mind paying for car insurance. But when it comes to life insurance, we like to kick the can. Or if you're thinking about buying life insurance by way of all this information you receive in the mail, give me an opportunity first before you fill out that card and send it in, because you're buying the worst life insurance possible. You're buying the worst policy possible. I mean, you can't even imagine what that contract reads. You just see the price and the coverages, and you say, you know what, this is good. And it's not. In most cases, it's not, because you're not insured for the first 2 years, number one. You're not insured for the first 2 years, number one. That could be a 5-year renewable term policy where the price is going to change on you according to your health and according to your age. Or if you just bought a policy according to your age, that policy is going to go up over time. My name is Donald Marquez. This is Your Insurance Connection. 702-236-2624. 702-236-2624. 702-236-2624. Go to the House of Worship. Listen to Pastor Lewis and what he has to say. And if you can't make it, and if you're thinking about it, give him a call. Talk to him. The man is very delightful to hear. He has a unique message, and I have to say that it touched me in a lot of different ways.
That's good.
It touched me in a lot of different ways. You have no idea. But I'm just sitting back, and almost about 10 were getting ready to fall out of my eyes. Like,
praise the Lord.
And how does he know about that? but I was truly touched. The phone number to the church is 300-877-0. The one thing about God is you don't need an appointment. No matter where you are, you can talk to God at any time.
That's right.
You can talk to him at any time in the right place. Isn't that right, Deacon?
Nicely
That's right.
said.
That's right.
I
That's
sound
right.
like a pastor
I'm
myself.
going to say, you're about to preach on the air. Amen.
I love it. I love it.
Amen. And if I may, Brother Marquez,
Yes,
I'm
you
getting
may.
all these text messages from my pastor friends. So you do me a favor. All of you guys is texting me right now. Donald Marquez just left his number on the air. So 702-236-2624. I appreciate all the text messages that's coming my way right now. But what I came on the air to do today, I had to pray about this before I came on. I wanted to make sure that I came to support Brother Marquez. He's being modest with you guys on the air, so let me give you guys something else to think about. One of the ones who I told you about earlier who came and she had a policy, I think he really shocked her of how he was knowledgeable about her policy. He was trying to be coy about what the insurance company she was with, but she was magnified and blown away. The next day, she called me and said, that guy made me look at and think about what I had purchased. And she said I needed to reevaluate my insurance plan because he told us about someone who had an insurance plan that they had been paying on for years. And then when it came to the fact that the person died, they found out the coverage was not as much as what they thought it was. So she had reevaluated. My mom, who goes to the church, my mom's 81 years young. She was looking at her policy and her husband's policy. My wife started looking at our policy. So he not only, I hope I impacted him with the message of faith that was preached that day, but he impacted us in giving us a wealth of insurance knowledge.
That's the whole point. To look, not only look at your policy, that's good to look at it, but if you don't understand the language, you know, we look at the price, the policy, but you got to understand all that language was within the contract. Now, that you see at certain ages, and I've heard people tell me this, well, I'm not going to make it to 85. I'm not going to make it to 80. And what if you do make it to 80? Because now you're looking at life insurance because your life insurance policy expired at age 80 and you're still living. Now you're buying life insurance at age 80. What I suggest for, you know, and it's not for everyone. One blanket doesn't fit all, doesn't cover all. However, everyone have their own financial needs, have their own needs. I can tailor make a policy for you that'll fit in your budget. I do not insure you. Let's get that correct. I do not. Let's put it out there. Because people say, well, no, I'm not the insurance company. They're worth hundreds of billions of dollars. I'm just a representative of these insurance companies. I'm a broker. The difference between me, I can shop for you. I represent 66 life insurance companies. We also offer auto insurance, homeowners, and renters insurance as well. But I really specialize in life insurance. My focus is more on life insurance here lately, although we do write the auto and the home and the renters. But I find that in our community, in our population, we end up buying the wrong life insurance contract.
That's right.
Because we're just trying to do it easy and simple, or we depended on the job to take care of it for us.
That's correct.
Or you retired, now you lose that benefit, and you don't know what to do. Call me today at 702-236-2624, 702-236-2624. I've been in this business for the last 23 years. I love it. I absolutely love helping you. We'll find a life insurance policy that'll fit in your budget. Contact me today, 702-236-2624.
Brother Marquez, I think I have a question for you. So
Okay.
I see that my minister friends won't stop texting me, so I'm going to put something out there that I see that they came across. What do you do with the policies that come across? Like the other day I looked in my mailbox and Mutual of Omaha sent me a life insurance policy that was, it seemed like an Aflac policy. The policies, if you get injured or hurt, they pay a portion of it. What do you think about those kind of policies on picking up for coverage?
Well, it just depends on the individual now. You know, if you own a business, I could see having a supplemental, or if your job doesn't pick up the disability insurance, everyone is different. Now, you do have to pay a premium. And with those that's a supplemental, the Aflac we were talking about.
Correct.
So you have to be out of work for so long, and then it'll start paying. And there are exclusions to those type of Aflac policies. I mean, if that's more in case if you're disabled or you're injured on the job and you can't work. That's not if you lose your job. I don't think if you lose your job or you got laid off or you got fired, that doesn't apply. So you really have to understand the contract. Now, again, a lot of us have disability insurance, or even Social Security has disability. So that could be a supplemental for you for a while, or permanent disability. There are other. I don't offer supplemental insurance, but I do have brokers that I work with that if they need that type of insurance, we can definitely point them in the right direction. I specialize in life insurance, home and auto, renters. However, to get back to the Mutual of Omaha, I do represent. That's one of my companies I represent is Mutual Omaha. Now, when they put that information in the mail, they're not. You may not understand the full contents of that, what you receive in the mail. You may not understand the full contents of it. What I mean by that, because they do offer policies, but those are graded policies. Those policies are not in effect for the full face amount for the first 2 years. Now, a lot of individuals do qualify for life insurance, but they have to talk to me and get them qualified. So they're insured day one. They don't have to wait 2 years. A lot of times when you see that advertising on television and they say, hey, your policy starts as low as $9.95, well, that's only $1,000 worth of coverage. Okay, let's get that straight. That's only $1,000 worth of coverage. And you may be paying too much for it, because most of you qualify for a lot less than $9.99 for $1,000.
And that's why I asked the question, Brother Marquez, because, a lot of times people pick up policies or they see stuff that come to them, and sometimes we are not good at reading all the details. Mm-hmm. I worked for a union for a while, and I did contracts, and I used to tell them all the time, read it from front to cover, because then you'll understand what you're doing. But if you can't, that's why I was so impressed with what Brother Marquez had brought to us. One more thing from me. He gave us an excellent illustration of what term life is. I think my congregation was more blown away because some of them didn't understand how it worked. They had different forms of policies, and I was thankful for that. But if we have enough time, can you just break that down just for a minute?
No problem. And I'm glad you brought that up, Pastor Lewis, because when you receive a term policy, regardless if you receive it by way of mail or you receive your policy by going to an insurance agent and it's not explained to you fully 100%, those policies read to age 95. But term is term. Term is 10 years, 20 years, 30-year term. Now, at the end of those terms, whatever you sign up for, 10, 15, or 20-year term, or even a 30-year term, once it's over, now you go into what we call the extended term. And the price of insurance gets very expensive very quick. I witnessed just last week, a gentleman was paying $102 a month. At the end of his term on a 10-year term policy, he went from $102 a month to his policy going to over $12,000 a year in monthly premiums. And the reason he was so happy to have this review, because he heard me on the radio, he said, I just want you to look at this. They will pull the money out of your account without notice. Now, all of a sudden, he'll get a $900 withdrawal from his account to keep the policy active, because now he's at the end of his term. Because he was paying $102, but now all of a sudden now he's in the extended term without understanding fully the contract, and he didn't call to cancel the policy at the end of the term. They're going to pull that money out automatically. Insurance companies will pull that money out automatically because they assume that you want to continue the policy in the extended term. Again, this is why it's so important to have an insurance review. My name is Donald Marquez. Call me at 702-236-2624, 702-236-2624. Now, if you're a certain age, 65 years young, and you're looking at term insurance, I don't think that's the best answer for you, because you can only get a short term. We can only probably get you 15 years or maybe even 20 up to age 85. But if you're at 85 and then you live to be 86, 87, you're out. You're out. I mean, you can't afford the premium, because now the premium is $1,500 a month. Correct. Term does end. That's why they call it term. It's not permanent. It's not whole life. Whole life is for the rest of your life. Universal life insurance is up to age 95, 100, 121. I don't know anybody lived that long, but it's permanent insurance. In other words, the premium doesn't change, the face amount doesn't change. Term will end at a specific amount of time. It will be over 10, 15. I like to offer 30-year term policies wherever I can. Now, if you're 58 years young and you're healthy, I can get you a 30-year term. Now, if you're 59, whether you're male or female, I cannot get you a 30-year term. the cutoff is 58 for 30 years. Now, at 59 or 60, you're looking at a 20-year term policy because the insurance companies will reduce your time. 702-236-2624, 702-236-2624. Call me today. Set up an appointment before the holidays. Let's do this before the holidays. It's a gift of love. Life insurance is a gift of love. 702-236-2624, 702-236-2624. Deacon Andre Hall, you have any comments before we get out of here?
I don't, sir, but I thank you for your information.
Thank you so much for coming. Also, Pastor Lewis, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes. Well, we got less than a minute. Go ahead and say what you have to say.
Well, I thank you again for this opportunity to come. But, you know, the Bible declares that we know the day, know the hour when the Son of Man shall return for us. That's our hour that we will be called into the heavens. That's what we pray. I implore all of you guys today listening on the sound of our voices. If you have not made it possible to get term life or policy that will ensure you and your household, call Brother Marquez. Make sure that you take his number down and do me a favor, share it with friends and family, because most of the time when somebody in our family dies, it's the loved ones left to bury them.
Amen to that.
Thank you again, Brother Marquez, for this opportunity.
You're welcome, and thank you for coming in, Pastor Lewis. I'll see your church. I'll visit your church again, and not only to give a seminar, but just to sit down and listen.
I'm gonna hold you to that now.
And I'll be there. I want to thank the listeners for tuning in to Your Insurance Connection. We will be broadcasting this Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 10 o'clock, and I hear the Don Father will be in this Friday, so keep it locked right here, Power 88. We have health and wellness coming up next right here, Power 88. Keep it locked. Until next time, just keep it crispy.